Good morning. How you doing? Well, it's morning here, and my name is Brian, and I'm a poet. And on this channel, we do poetry. Sometimes mine, but most of the time, especially on this particular program, we do other people's poetry, and I kind of like to do it with a twist, It could be Shelley's or Byron's, the old romantics, Wadsworth, Longfellow, Henry of the variety. Longfellow, it could be one of his, or we could go all the way back in time to old Sappho. We're in the middle of the shade. Just, it doesn't matter because whatever's cool, I take it and I put it into a music generator. Yes. Those nasty AIs, the things that are slowly but surely taking over our brains. Well, I use it in a cool manner. I take these old poetries, these old poems from these dearly departed poets, and I make tracks out of them, songs, and the generator I use, it spits out a couple tracks. We do the compare and contrast, and the rest, they say, is all fun. Well, it's Thursday. I don't have any particular show in the can because I didn't make one. I had a day yesterday. But if you're having a good evening, a good morning, or an afternoon, wherever you might be floating around on this spacebound bulb of ours, I hope you're having a good one and being good at it. So, like and subscribe and all that jazz. We're at 460. Back up to 460. I think this is the third time. Might be the fourth. Sometimes it's really hard to keep track. But more importantly, everything we do is under fair use. And good morning, Miss Jennifer. Guess what? You have determined which one I'm going to play first. Let's get the blood pumping. Let's get the blood pumping and play this one at the Unnational Monument, William Stafford.
This is the field where the battle did not happen, where the unknown soldier did not die. This is the field where grass join hands, where no monument stands, and the only heroic thing is the sky. Birds fly here without any sound, unfolding their wings across the open. No people killed or were killed on this ground, hallowed by neglect and an air so tame that people celebrate it by forgetting its name. This is the field where the battle did not happen, where the unknown soldier did not die. This is the field where grass join hands, where no monument stands, and the only heroic thing is the sky. Birds fly here without any sound, unfolding their wings across the open. No people killed or were killed on this ground, hallowed by neglect and an air so tame that people celebrate it by forgetting its name.
Experience, like a pale musician holds a dulcimer of patience in his hand, whence harmonies we cannot understand. Of God will in his worlds the strain unfolds, in sad perplexed minors deathly colds. Fall on us while we hear and countermand. Our sanguine heart back from the fancy land. With nightingales in visionary walks, we murmur, where is any certain tune, or measured music in such notes as these? But angels leaning from the golden seat are not so minded, their fine ear hath won the issue of completed cadences, and smiling down the stars, they whisper, sweet. sets upon the sea, we follow in his flight. Farewell a while to him and thee, my native land, good night. Adi, 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 adi. Adi, 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 adi. A few short hours and he will rise to give the morrow birth, and I shall hail the main and skies, but not my mother. Deserted is my own good hall, its hearth is desolate. Wild weeds are gathering on the wall. My dog howls at the gate. Sets upon the sea, we follow in his flight. Farewell a while to him and thee, my native land, good night. A few short hours and he will rise to give the morrow birth, and I shall deserted is my own good hall, its hearth is desolate. Wild weeds are gathering on the wall. My dog howls at the gate.
One more.
One feather is a bird I claim, one tree a wood. In a low voice I heard more than a mortal should, and so I stood apart, hidden in my own heart. And yet I roamed out where those notes went like the bird whose thin song hung in air, diminished yet still heard. I lived with open sound, aloft and on the ground. That ghost was my own choice, the shadow any summer day. Cerulean bird, it sang with her true voice, and it was I who heard a slight voice reply. I heard, and only I. Desire exalts the ear, bird, girl, and ghostly tree. The earth, the solid air, their slow song sang in me. The long noon pulsed away like any summer day.
What a way to end the opening set. What do you think? The three of you that are still in here. So it's okay. See, Joe is picking up prescriptions, and Jennifer's saying hi to Kathy. Good morning, Antics, if you're still here, and all that stuff. So yeah, so far so good this morning. How y'all doing? Yeah, it's a Thursday. Yes, quite lovely music. That one's quickly becoming my favorite. You don't know how many times I've listened. I got two versions of that. One a little bit more rocking up, but that one, you don't know how many times I've actually listened to those just around the house and everything. My doggies are getting tired of them, I think. Of course, they just look at me like I'm stupid most of the time anyways. I know they do that out of love because they are more aware than I. All right, let's play another one here. Let me find something here. Let's find something. Where is that one? All right. What do we got here? Let's play this one. Kind of low key.
At noon of night, and at the night's pale end, such things have chanced to me, as one by day would scarcely tell a friend for fear of mockery. Shadows, you say, mirages of the brain. I know not, faith, not I. Is it more strange the dead should walk again than that the quick should die? within this black house. Bees passing in and out the moon, bees escaping out the moon, bees returning through the moon. Silver bees intently buzzing, silver honey dripping from the swarm of bees. Earth is a waxen cell of the world comb, and I a drone, lying on my back, lipping honey, getting drunk with that silver honey. Wish that I might fly out past the moon and curl forever in some far-off farmyard flower. Within this black hive tonight, there swarm a million bees, bees passing in and out the moon, bees escaping out the moon, bees returning through the moon, silver bees intently buzzing, silver honey dripping from the swarm of bees. Earth is a waxen cell of the world comb, and I a drone lying on my back, lipping honey, getting drunk with that silver honey. Wish that I might fly out past the moon and curl forever in some far-off farmyard flower. When curl forever in some far-off farmyard flower.
Haven't heard this one in a while.
The robin laughed in the orange tree. Oh, windy north, a fig for thee. While breasts are red and wings are bold, and green trees wave us globes of gold. Time sighs shall reap but bliss for me.
Sunlight song and the orange tree,
Burn golden globes in leafy sky. My orange planet's crimson eye will shine and shoot among the spheres and thread the heavenly orange tree
with orbits bright of minstrelsy.
If that I hate wild winter spy, the gibbet trees, the world in wide, the sky but
should I ache the season's slate? I'll sing from the top of the orange tree. Gramercy, winter's tyranny. South with the sun and keep my climb. My wing is king of the summertime. My breast to the sun, his torch shall hold, and I'll call down through the green and gold. Time, take thy scythe, reap bliss for me. Bestir thee under the orange tree.
Hadn't heard this.
All thoughts, all passions, all delights, whatever stirs this mortal frame, all are but ministers of love and feed his sacred flame. Oft in my waking dreams do I live o'er again that happy hour, when midway on the mount I lay beside the ruined tower. The moonshine stealing o'er the scene had blended with the lights of Eve, and she was there, my hope, my joy, my own dear Genevieve.
She leant against the armored rounded statue of the armed knight. She stood and listened to my lay amid the lingering light. Few sorrows hath she of her own, my hope, my joy, my Genevieve. She loves me best whene'er I sing the songs that make her grieve.
I played a soft and doleful air, I sang an old and moving story, an old rude song that suited well that ruin wild and hoary.
She listened with a flitting blush, with downcast eyes and modest grace,
For well she knew I could not choose but gaze upon her face. I told her of the knight that wore upon his shield a burning brand, and that for 10 long years he wooed the lady of the land.
I told her how he pined, and the deep, the low, the pleading tone
with which I sang another's love interpreted my own. She listened with a flitting blush, with downcast eyes and modest grace, and she forgave me that I gazed too fondly on her face.
But when I told the cruel scorn that crazed that bold and lovely knight, and that he crossed the mountain woods, nor rested day nor night,
that sometimes from the savage din, and sometimes from the darksome shade, and sometimes starting up at once in green and sunny glade, there came and looked him in the face an angel beautiful and bright, and that he knew it was a fiend this miserable night, and that unknowing what he did, he leaped amid a murderous band, saved from outrage worse than death the lady of the land. And how reached that tenderest strain of all the ditty. My faltering voice and pausing harp disturb her soul with pity. All impulses of soul and sense that thrilled my guileless Genevieve, the music and the doleful tale, the rich and balmy, and hopes and fears that kindle hope, an undistinguishable throng, in gentle wishes long subdued, subdued and cherished long. She wept with pity and delight, she blushed with love and virgin shame, and like the murmur of a dream, I heard her breathe my name. Her bosom heaved, she stepped aside, as conscious of my look she stepped. Then suddenly with timorous eyes she fled to me and wept. She half enclosed me with her arms, she pressed me with a meek embrace, and bending back her head looked up and gazed upon my face. 'Twas partly love and partly fear, and partly 'twas a bashful art, that I might rather feel than see the swelling of her heart. I calmed her fears and she was calm, and told her love with virgin pride. And so I won my Genevieve, my bright and beauteous bride.
All right, let's get back to the chat there for a second. So it's an antidepressant to wean you off parabaglin, whatever that stuff is. And Antics said, not Antics, Rika says, oh, ouch, sending good vibes, my friend. You know, if I play anything too loud, because I plan on going some rocking territory, maybe here a little bit, turn the volume down a little bit. Oh, I really like that one. We haven't heard that one in a while. It's nice and subdued. And I love that one. I was glad I was able to actually make an entire long track out of that one without having to piece it together. Thank God they put 4.5 and 5.0 out. Yes, here's hoping those new meds you got work. All right, where's the chat? But yeah. That one makes me that one, I have some interesting thoughts about that one, because you know that one reminds me of what Robin Williams's character in Dead Poets Society says to the boys, you know, to the young guys, that young men, poetry is for wooing. And of course that's an example of the poet wooing. And of course I wrote a series of poems for my ex-girlfriend, and what happened? When the going got tough, she got going. The one I really feel sorry for is the Knight, because, you know, I kind of identify with him, especially about the last one. Oh, well. Matters of the heart. Sometimes they give you interesting poems. Let's see here. Where is that one?
Sometimes within my starlit dreams, my heart flutters on gossamer webs. My lonesome heart lost in thoughts, my sputtering, wandering thoughts thoughts about almost nothing, my thoughts of absolutely everything, all my thoughts about you. Lazy thoughts that twirl with no sound, lazy thoughts that whirl on no gravity, lazy thoughts that swirl all in and around the pinwheeling of my dreaming heart. Laying back and looking out into the night, looking at the thoughts laying beyond the moon, looking at the stars, laughing beyond the moon. And I wish you were here, here for me to share them with you. As I curl up around them, my dream wakes to the reality that those thoughts now flow, falling into forgetfulness and fly, and finally fading away. When midnight mists are creeping and all the land is sleeping, around me tread the mighty dead and slowly pass away. The warriors, saints and sages from out the vanished ages, with solemn pace and reverent face, appear and pass away. The blaze of noonday splendor, the twilight soft and tender, may charm the eye, yet they shall die and pass away. But here in dreamland center, no spoiler's hand may enter. These visions fair, this radiance rare, shall never pass away. The forms of old recalling, around me tread the mighty dead and slowly pass
those two had a theme. Of course, the first one, Heartache Dreamings, the one I wrote about the previous experience, the most recent experience. Then that other one, you know. But let's see here. That sounds about like my ex-girlfriend. Yeah, you didn't say a word to her until she got at least one of these. And you know, technically, this is about a 20-some ounce cup or so. So isn't it like, because there's 8 ounces to a cup. 3? I count it as one. Yeah. Cool. It's too early for you to say that. Oh, all right. Since we're going, I want to hear some blues, some rock and blues. You guys want to hear some too, because you know the blues is always a good thing. And let's see here. Oh, I know where this one is. At least I think I know where it is. I hope I know where it is. And it's right there. The Lady of Shalott, Part 3. Poor Lancelot. All he's got to do is just take a ride, and he just screwing things up.
Shot from a bower eaves, he rode between the barley sheaves. The sun came dazzling through the leaves and flamed upon the brazen greaves of bold Sir Lancelot. A Red Cross Knight forever kneeled to a lady in his shield that sparkled on the yellow field beside remote Shalott. The gemmy bridle glittered free like to some branch of stars we see hung in the golden galaxy. The bridal bells rang merrily as he rode down from Camelot. And from his blazoned baldric slung a mighty silver bugle hung. And as he rode, his armor rung beside remote Shalott. Sunlight glowed on burnished hooves. His warhorse strode from underneath. His helmet flowed, his coal black curls as on he rode, as he rode down from Camelot. From the bank and from the river he flashed into the crystal mirror. Tirra-lira, tirra-lira, sang Sir Lancelot. She left the loom, she made 3 paces through the room. She saw the water flower bloom, she saw the helmet and the plume. She looked down to Camelot, out flew the web and floated wide. The mirror cracked from side to side, the curse has come upon me, cried the Lady of Shalott.
Oh yeah, actually, there is a big freaking difference. I can only do like iced coffee and blended drinks, foo-foo it up a little bit, preferably mocha most of the time. The couple places around here do, I'll center there, do a really good uh, Irish cream one. They call it, one place calls it the luck of the Irish, and other place calls it, I forgot what the other place calls it, but I always get it with a extra shot. But the best black coffee I've had in a while, there's this place called Big Bad Breakfast in Little Rock. Me and my buddy John, when we go down, when I take him to appointments and stuff in Little Rock, we always go by there, which is a good thing because we're regulars there. They recognize us and they treat us very well. Of course, we tip good too. Well, John tips good. And I'm out of coffee. Oh well. But yeah, they got their regular black coffee. I don't know what it is, what their brand is, if it's they use filtered water or whatever, but I don't even worry about putting sugar in it. Like the stuff I get from the store down, or the stuff I make, I put sugar in. And creamer, or that. Cool. That's an interesting story. All right. I forgot what I was going to play. Oh yeah, we haven't heard this one. I like. Okay, if I stop one real quick, I'll tell you why. Because I have two versions of this, and one is better than the other. It's in this particular folder. So this is a house by the side of the road. Hopefully it's the correct version. No, it's not the right version. At least I don't think. All right, let's try the other one. This one.
There are hermit souls that live withdrawn in the place of their self-content. There are souls like stars that dwell apart in a fellowless firmament. There are pioneer souls that blaze the paths where highways never ran. But let me live by the side of the road and be a friend to man. Let me live in a house by the side of the road where the race of men go by. The men who are good and the men who are bad, as good and as bad as I would not sit in the scorner's seat, nor hurl the cynic's ban. Let me live in a house by the side of the road and be a friend to man. I see from my house by the side of the road, by the side of the highway of life, the men who press with the ardor of hope, the men who are faint with the strife. But I turn not away from their smiles and tears, both parts of an infinite plan. Let me live in a house by the side of the road and be a friend to man. I know there are
Fun fact, condensed milk was invented in the condensing and putting it into those little tin cans was invented during the Civil War for the military, for the Union military. They needed a way to get a lot of calories in a small package for the people out killing each other. So yeah, fudge. Now, I know this is not Cricket's channel, but the Uranus, the Uranus Fudge Factory, one time I bought some of their fudge, and it took a while to get here, and when it got here, it was gone in no time flat. So I'm never buying that stuff ever again. And they live there. It's about a 4.5 hour drive up to that part of Missouri. Maybe one of these years I'll throw Phil in the car and we'll go up there. But yeah, I'm a milk guy. I really like milk. Unfortunately, the cows that are beside me are not milk cows. And one of the things, I know they've got them around here in a couple places, but I like going to those, they cold filter it. Yeah. That is a fun fact. Yeah, they cold filter. There's this place in San Antonio. They cold filtered their milk, and it was really, really good. You could get a layer of cream on it, like yay! Oh, I love that stuff. Yep. All right. Let's see here. Let's play this one.
The western wave was all aflame. The day was well nigh done. Almost upon the western wave rested the broad bright sun. When that strange shape drove suddenly betwixt us and the sun, and straight the sun was flecked with bars, heaven's mother send us grace. As if through a dungeon grate he peered with broad and burning face. Alas, thought I, and my heart beat loud, how fast she nears and nears. Are those her sails that glance in the sun like restless gossameres? Are those her ribs through which the sun did peer as through a grate? And is that woman all her crew? Is that a death? And are there two? Is death that woman's mate? Her lips were red, her looks were free, her locks were yellow as gold. Her skin was as white as leprosy. The nightmare life in death was she, who thinks man's blood with cold. The naked Hulk alongside came, and the twain were casting dice. The game is done, I've won, I've won, quoth she and whistled thrice. Naked Hulk alongside came, and the twain were casting dice. The game is done, I've won, quoth she and whistles thrice. Quoth she and whistled thrice. Quoth she and whistled thrice.
maybe, but I've always been a milk drinker. I don't know, maybe it goes far back because, I was raised on formula. Who knows? And I'm not even going to go there. Yeah, I've had cheese and stuff from over there, especially in the Mediterranean. Oh, one of the reasons to go there is just for the food, you know. But yeah, and I don't. Yeah, yeah. Well, you got different water, different grain, and we do use way too many preservatives at times. And yeah, I'm not gonna go there. Yep, big milk drinker. Oh, why do you think I will never probably ever order any fudge from Uranus Fudge Factory? Uh, I just find that, yeah, it didn't last long at all. At all. Hmm. Yeah. No, and it was funny whenever my doctors talk about, well, they asked me about, I was my one previous to this one, Dr. Blankenship was her name. I think that's what. She's pretty cool. She ended up going to the women's clinic at the VA in yeah, the closest we have to it in Conway is this place called, it's that franchise place Taziki's. There is a uh overpriced Turkish place in Little Rock that I go to every once in a while. They got great freaking baklava. Oh, great baklava. Makes your teeth hurt. It's so good. Yeah, it is. But that's because of the people in charge don't care about us. They want to keep us sick and dependent upon them. I think some of it started with, good intentions, but there's that thing, that rule that's called the law of unintended consequences. All right. You want to, help people out, learn how to make your product go longer, and so you can last longer, so you can definitely make more money off of it, and stuff like that. And then you get people in there who just don't give a crap. They don't see people as people. They see, beans in a spreadsheet, and they. Yay! All right, that was weird. Whoa, wait a minute here. Hey, we got Ghost in the Machine here. That was freaking weird. I guess my computer got tired of me talking and philosophizing. I was going, dude, it'd be about what you're about. Oh, I haven't heard this one in a while. We haven't heard this one in a while. Let's play this one. I like that one. It makes me sad because I totally understand it to an extent. Unrequited love, at least at the end, that one became, that one ended happy. And I especially like it how I did the female vocal on that one. We have Kerrygold here, and I love it. I just don't buy it that often because it's expensive. Yeah, that's about unrequited love. And, saying something. Well, at least that, for that narrator, eventually saying something, happened. Well, That's good. That's nice to hear. Maya. Oh, yeah, Maya. She messaged me. Is she still in here? Or was she? Oh, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, here, let me read this message. Here, I'll get it and here. Let me play something right quick and then I will read this message from Maya. It's too early in the morning. Let's see here. Oh. Here.
If one could have that little head of hers painted upon a background of pale gold, such as the Tuscan's early art prefers, no shade encroaching on the matchless mold of those two lips, which should be opening soft in the pure profile, not as when she laughs, for that spoils all, but rather as if aloft. Yon hyacinth she loves so leaned its staffs, burthen of honey-colored buds to kiss, and capture twixt the lips apart for this. Then her lithe neck 3 fingers might surround. How it should waver on the pale gold ground, up to the fruit-shaped perfect chin it lifts. I know Correggio loves to mass in rifts of heaven his angel faces, orb on orb, breaking its outline, burning shades absorb. But these are only masks there, I should think, waiting to see some wonder moment lean, grow out, stand full, fade slow against the sky. That's the pale ground you'd see this sweet face by. All heaven, meanwhile, condensed into one eye, which fears to lose the wonder should it wink.
let's see here. All right. Okay. In my defense, I got it really late last night, and I noticed it when I got up the many times my bladder decided to hate me. And I just remembered it when Rika started talking about so I hadn't read it, really. I kind of scanned it. So we're on the same page, my friend. We're on the same page. And yes, yeah, tell her thanks from all of us, you know. Our heart goes out to everybody involved. Because, yeah. Let's see here. All right, on to other things. So T is starting. Yeah, I think T is starting out really early in the morning here. So set your notifications and everything. I'm going to go on at 7 p.m. for 1 hour and play some stuff, but I plan on reading this entire thing. All about Scientology, my Scientology, haikus and limericks. I plan on reading the whole thing and stuff. Probably, maybe from cover to cover. Yeah, I'll read the whole thing. I'll plan on reading the whole thing as part of my as my part in the festivities. All right. I can play a little bit more, and then I gotta go. I have to go to Greenbrier. I gotta go get my tags renewed on my car, and then I have homework to do because the semester's basically done. I just got one major project. Well, I got a few projects I gotta finish up, and then it's semester break, and then next semester the real fun starts. 3 history classes where I'll probably be writing term papers for all those. There ain't no telling what I'm going to be doing for Dr. Cody. But then there's the gem of the classes, the poetry workshop, which that's just fun. So yeah, let's see here. Oh, haven't heard this one in a while. Something a little different.
What was he doing, the great god Pan, down in the reeds by the river? Spreading ruin and scattering bands, splashing and paddling with hoofs of a goat, and breaking the golden lilies afloat with the dragonfly on the river. He tore out a reed, the great god Pan, from the deep cool bed of the river. The limpid water turbidly ran, and the broken lilies a dying lay, and the dragonfly had fled away ere he brought it out of the river. High on the shore sate the great god Pan, while turbidly flowed the river. And hacked and hewed as a great god can, with his hard bleak steel at the patient reed, till there was not a sign of a leaf indeed to prove it fresh from the river. He cut it short, did the great god Pan. How tall it stood in the river. The river then drew the pith like the heart of a man, steadily from the outside ring, and notched the poor dry empty thing in holes as he sate by the river. This is the way, laughed the great god Pan, laughed while he sate by the river. The only way since gods began to make sweet music they could succeed
dropping his mouth to a hole in the reed. He blew in power by the river. Sweet, 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 oh Pan, piercing sweet by the river. Blinding sweet, oh great God Pan, the sun on the hill forgot to die, and the lilies revived and the dragonfly came back to dream on the river.
That's kind of ironic since that one's about a pagan god. I think she sent it, or they sent it on Instagram. All right, let's see here. How are you doing, Matthew? Matt, how is it going, MD Media? Well, you can see what we're doing here. All right, let's play some more. Oh, I know what. Let's do this. Oh boy, I amuse myself so easily sometimes. Since we did one Browning and we did another Browning, and let's just go ahead and do another one.
Thus the main glideth where my love abideth, sleeps no softer, it proceeds on through lawns, on through meads, on and on, whate'er befall. Meandering and musical, though the hugged pasturage bears not on a shaven ledge aught but weeds and waving grasses, to view the river as it passes, save here and there a scanty patch of primroses, too faint to catch a weary bee, and scarce it pushes its gentle way through strangling rushes, where the glossy kingfisher flutters when noon heats are near, glad the shelving banks to shun, red and steaming in the sun. Where the shrew mouse with pale throat burrows, and the speckled stoat, where the quicksand pipers flit in and out the marl and grit that seems to breed them brown as they, not disturbs its quiet way, save some lazy stork that springs, trailing it with legs and wings, whom the shy fox from the hill rouses creepy ne'er so still. gonna stay. Not disturbs its quiet way. Save some lazy stork that springs, trailing it with legs and wings, whom the shy fox from the hill ruses creepy ne'er so still. Baby Vance, is it harder work than it used to be? Are the new soda parlors worse than the old time saloons? Baby Vance, do you have jobs in the daytime, or is this all you do? Do you come out only at night? In the winter at the skating rinks, in the summer at the roller coaster parks, wherever fits are carved by skates and turned by roller coasters in summer. Wherever the world is going and chicken, Spanish, and hot dog are sold. There you come, giggling baby vamp. There you come with your blue baby eyes, saying, take me along. Baby Vance, is it harder work than it used to be? Are the new soda parlors worse than the old time saloons? Baby Vance, do you have jobs in the daytime, or is this all you do? Do you come out only at night? In the winter at the skating rinks, in the summer at the roller coaster parks, wherever figure eights are carved by skates in winter, by roller coasters in summer. Wherever the whirly jigs are going and chicken, Spanish, and hot dog are sold. There you come, giggling baby vamp. There you come with your blue baby eyes. Take me oh.
I kind of like playing those two back to back because the Baby Vamps one I made first, and then when I decided to work on the Browning one, thus the main, I accidentally left, because in Suno you got that little thing there where when you work on something you covered, it's there, and they use that basic riff to make thus. It was a magical accident that I'm going to take full credit for. Oh yes, necessities, ain't it? Necessities. And safe travels, and yes, give plenty hugs when you get there. Yeah, okay. And then let's see, I'm gonna play a few more. I haven't quite decided how many more yet, but it definitely going to end within the quarter hour, half hour. Yeah, probably just end up playing another 30 minutes. So what do you guys, what What do we want to play? You know, what do I follow? Let's see here. What's this one? An Edna St. Vincent Millay.
I know I am but summer to your heart, and not the full 4 seasons of the year. Then you must welcome from another part.
Such noble moods as are not mine, my dear. No gracious weight of golden fruits to sell have I, nor any wise and wintry thing. And I have loved you all too long and well to carry still the high sweet breast of spring.
Wherefore I say, oh love, as summer goes, I must be gone, still forth with silent drums, that you may hail anew the bird and rose. When I come back to you as summer comes, else will you see at some not distant time, even your summer in another clime.
Dawning of the Age of Aquarius, Marilyn McCoo, the fifth dimension. That's what that one always reminds me of. All right, let's see here. Get back to where I was going to play this one. Where were we? All right. I think it's in this one. Yeah, here.
Maud went to college, Sadie stayed home. Sadie scraped life with a fine-tooth comb. She didn't leave a tangle in, a comb found every strand. Sadie was one of the livingest chicks in all the land. Sadie bore 2 babies under her maiden name. Maud and Ma and Papa nearly died of shame.
in this old house. Silver bark of beach and sallow, bark of yellow birch and yellow twig of willow. Stripe of green in moosewood maple, color seen in leaf of apple, bark of popple. Wood of popple, pale as moonbeam. Wood of oak for yoke and barn beam. Wood of hornbeam. Silver bark of beech and hollow, stem of elder tall and yellow, twig of willow.
I like the way that one ends.
This level reach of blue is not my sea. Here are sweet waters pretty in the sun, whose quiet ripples meet obediently, a marked and measured line, one after one. This level reach of blue is not my sea. Here are sweet waters pretty in the sun, whose quiet ripples meet obediently. A marked and measured line, one after one. This is no sea of mine that humbly leaves untraveled sand spread glittering and warm. I have a need of wilder, crueler waves. They sicken of the calm who knew the storm. So let a love beat over me again, losing its million desperate breakers wide, sudden and terrible to rise and wane, roaring the heavens apart, a reckless tide that casts upon the heart as it recedes, splinters and spurs and dripping salty weeds.
Drive safe, Rika.
On your drums, batter on your banjos. Sob on the long, cool, winding saxophone. Go to it, oh Jasmine.
Sling your knuckles on the bottoms of the happy. Tin pans, let your trombones ooze and go hush-a. Hush-a, hush with the slippery sandpaper.
Moan like an autumn wind high in the lonesome treetops. Moan soft like you wanted somebody terrible. Cry like a racing car slipping away from a motorcycle cop. Bang, bang.
Jasmine, bang all together drums.
Traps, banjos, horns, tin cans make two people fight on the top of a stairway and scratch each other's eyes in a clinch, tumbling down the stairs. Can the rough stuff now a Mississippi steamboat pushes up the night river with a hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Lanterns calling to the high soft stars. A red moon rides on the humps of the low river hills. Go to it, oh Jasmine.
He sleeps on the top of a mast with his eyes fast closed. The sails fall away below him like the sheets of his bed, leaving out in the air of the night the sleeper's head. Asleep he was transported there, asleep he curled in a gilded ball on the mast top, or climbed inside.
ocean. A gull had wings under his and remarked that the air was like marble. He said, up here I tower through the sky, for the marble wings on my tower top fly. But he sleeps on the top of his mast with his eyes closed tight. The gull inquired into his dream, which was, I must not fall. The spangled sea below wants me to fall. It is hard as diamonds, it wants to destroy us
For some reason, that makes me want to get in my car and get on a nice, straight, country road and just drive as fast as I can. Oh, so resist the urge to put the pedal to the metal. Drive safely. Have a good one. And yes, don't work too hard or as hard as you have to. Yes. Today, long day, got to do that essay. Oh boy, no, it's too early in the morning. I'm just, oh boy, I need more coffee. So, yeah. So I'm going to play two more. The last one, I got to figure out which one I want to play first. Let's play this one, Bookends. Kind of makes me want to drive fast.
Bake the day she suddenly dropped dead. We chew it slowly, that last apple pie. Shocked into sleeplessness, you're scared of bed. We never could talk much, and now don't try. You're like bookends, the pair of you, she'd say. Hog that great, say nothing, sit, sleep, stare. The scholar me, you worn out on poor pay. Only our silence made us seem a pair. Not as good for staring in blue gas. Too regular each, but each yellow spike. At night you need my company to pass, and she not here to tell us we're alike. Your life's all shattered into smithereens. Back in our silences and sullen looks. For all the scotch we drink, what's still betweens? Not the 30 or so years, but books, books. You're like bookends, the pair of you, she'd say. Hog that great, say nothing, sit, sleep, stare. The scholar me, you worn out on poor pay. Only our silence made us seem a pair. The scholar me, you worn out on poor pay. Only our silence made us seem a pair. Not as good for staring in blue gas. Too regular each, but each yellow spike. At night you need my company to pass, and she not here to tell us we're alive.
Maybe I get a more of a male vocal on that one, but what do I know? All I know is one more track. Yeah, I'm gonna play one more. I played the other version of this earlier, so I want to hear the other version of it now. No. Oh yes, this is that one that Sophia's like, that one needs to sound like Santana. And I made 2 different Santana sounding tracks, and both of them are awesome. We heard the longer version, the more acoustic version of it earlier. So I'm going to play that one to play out. But first, I need to remind everybody that everything we do here, fair use, public domain, stuff like that. But here's the more important part. Go out there and have an awesome day. And like and subscribe. All right, here we go. The Voice, our more rocked up Latin version. Enjoy.
One feather is a bird I claim, one tree a wood. In her low voice I heard more than a mortal should. And so I stood apart, hidden in my own heart. And yet I roamed out where those notes went like the bird whose thin song hung in air, diminished yet still heard. I lived with open sound, aloft and on the ground. That ghost was my own choice, the shy cerulean bird. It sang with her true voice, and it was I who heard a slight voice reply. I heard and only I. Desire exalts the ear, bird girl and ghostly tree. The earth, the solid air, their slow song sang in me. The long noon pulsed away like any summer day.
All right. I love that one. Yeah, y'all have a good one. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same channel, all that stuff. And then tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Central Time, I'll go on and do an hour of reading and stuff. But yeah, I'll read from a book for the Lisa McPherson tribute thingy. So, see you tomorrow. Y'all have a good one. And I'm going to work on this essay. Well, I'm going to write this essay. The documentary I have to write it on depresses me. Oh, my Lord. Oh, things we confront about ourselves. In the meantime, a good one, and I will tell you all about everything tomorrow. You have a good one. See y'all out in the chats, because you know I'll be taking plenty of breaks. Oh boy.